Where do I actually find publishers for my book? Well, spoiler alert, finding a list of publishers is not the hard part. Google can give you 100 in under 2 seconds. But knowing which ones are worth your time, which ones are legit, and which ones are a complete waste of energy, that's where today's episode of Your Path to Book Publishing is going to help. Whether you're working on a nonfiction book, a memoir, or even a business book, today we're digging into how to find the right publishers, research them, and avoid the red flags that can derail your publishing journey. Let's get into it. This is Your Path to Publish. I'm your host, Zach Christensen. For the past decade, our team has guided authors just like you to find the best path to publish your book, get people excited to buy it even before it launches, and to turn it into the ultimate business card to build your business and your legacy. If you are ready to get your book out of your head and into people's hands, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Now, when I typically talk about the different book path publishing options, there's three main ones: traditional, self-publishing, and hybrid publishing. But even within those options, there are little nuances. And unfortunately, those within the traditional and hybrid publishing routes can get a little murky. You may find and connect with a more niche publisher that appears to be one that can help you. But then later you learn in order to update your book or to get what you need to done, they're starting to charge fees. A few months ago, I talked with an author who had taken out money from their retirement funds to help fund their book. The cover, unfortunately, was horrible. They had been taken advantage of, and it was really heartbreaking to see that they've put this time and effort into a story and it's not created or marketed the way it's supposed to be. That publisher is now on a list that many in the industry go to know who to avoid. So as we go through this episode, I'm going to outline the right places to look and then how to vet publishers to know if they're the right fit. Not just to know if they're legit or not, but understand if they're the right fit for your book. So to kick off, we need to begin with the right resources. We want to use tools that are credible and will give you the best direction to start beginning your book. Some of them are a bit old school and their websites may not be the most up to date, but their information is gold. So first is Writer's Market. This is a classic. It's kind of like the yellow pages of publishing, if you're old enough to know what I'm referring to. If not, go Google it. Now, the print edition is usually updated yearly, or you can use the online version, probably more preferable, but includes publisher listings, submission requirements, and potentially has editors' names, but it may not be as updated in real time, but they do their best. The next is Publishers Marketplace. If you want to see what kinds of books are actually selling and which publishers are acquiring new titles, as well as a list of editors, this is a great place. You can also track agent activity there for those that register and use the platform. Some other websites are firstwriter.com and publisherarchive.com. Both have solid databases that let you filter by genre and submission guidelines. Now be mindful with any of these resources, things change and they may not always be updated on time, but it will give you a great starting point. And if you don't want to sit in front of the computer all day, here's a super fun method that's underrated. Go to a bookstore. Yes, physically. Go and walk through the shelves in your genre. You can look at big box stores such as Barnes & Noble. They'll have a little more variety. You can also go to independent bookstores. A great thing about an independent bookstore is the people there generally have deep expertise and might be able to make some quick recommendations for you to look at. So as you go to the bookstore, look at the spines of the book. See who's publishing books similar to yours. Look at the spine and then open up and look at the copyright page. It'll tell you exactly who published the book. So make notes of those names and then look them up online. It's one of the best ways to find publishers you already know are putting books on the shelves. Now, another side note to this is you'll understand what books are coming out, and if it's similar to your book, you can use it as a comp, but that's for another episode. The next part is know your genre and match it. Now that you've got a list, here's the next step. Genre fit is important. Don't just submit your memoir to a publisher that has an editor that you're able to contact, or if your agent does that, you may want to consider reevaluating the approach. So for example, don't send a business book to a poetry press. Even if their website looks great and inviting, they don't publish books like yours, they're not the right fit. Now here's the key. Most publishers are looking for a specific type of voice, tone, and topic. So go to their website, look at their recent books and ask, would my book fit here? If yes, great. If no, move on. Save yourself the time and the disappointment if there's an unlikely chance that you'll fit with them. If you're not sure, keep them on the list. Let's get into some red flags versus green lights. And this is how you can tell if a publisher is legit. And if you have an agent, they'll be able to help you go through this or already have the knowledge. So some red flags that I look for as an agent when researching for authors is that they charge you money just to submit. Legit publishers will not charge you money to submit a book proposal or query letter. There's no transparency about who works there. You want to find out who the editors are. You want to find out the teams and see exactly who you're going to be working with. This is a very connection-driven industry. They don't have distribution, meaning you won't find their books in bookstores. This is very much towards traditional types of publishers. That's one of the major advantages, that they have those distribution networks. If they don't have that, then they're not a true traditional publisher. It means that they're either a distributor, an independent type of publisher that specializes in helping authors with using print-on-demand platforms. Those can be good options, but if it's strictly for traditional purposes, don't trust them to be a traditional publisher. Next, their catalog is empty or full of books that don't align with your audience. So even if they say they publish a certain type of book, if they don't represent that with the books they already have, please consider any offer from them with a grain of salt. Now, some green lights. They list real books you can find online or in stores, and there's a way to see who the authors are, obviously, and you can reach out and connect with those authors. They're transparent about their team and process. It's clear about what the steps are to get a book published with them. They're clear about whether they accept submissions directly or only through agents. So a good rule of thumb overall, if a publisher looks too eager or too vague, it's probably not a good sign. As you're searching for publishers, you need to understand the submission requirements. So you may now have a short list of 5 to 10 publishers after doing all this research. What next? Well, you need to read their submission guidelines. Some will want a full proposal, and this varies by genre. Typically, fiction books will want a full proposal with the full book. Nonfiction may just want a full proposal. Others might just want a query letter or sample chapters to start. And many only accept submissions through agents, but there are some exceptions. Now, don't skip this step. Submitting the wrong materials or submitting to the wrong person is the fastest way to get ignored. But to make sure you keep track of this, I recommend keeping a simple spreadsheet. Track who's been submitted to, what you submitted, when you followed up, and what the response is, if any. This will help you stay organized and strategic, especially if you're submitting in batches. Now here's some bonus tips to make your search easier. Follow publishers on social media. Some will post calls for submission or highlight that they're looking for. Same with specific acquisitions editors. Some of the websites that you look at, the acquisitions editors will specifically say what type of books they're looking for. That's great information to find. Attend writing conferences. Editors often attend writing conferences looking for new talent, especially at niche conferences. Talk to other authors. If someone has worked with the publisher you're considering, ask them about their experience. Nothing beats firsthand insight, and they'll let you know the trade-offs. No publisher is perfect. There's always frustrations and challenges, but an author will be able to give you an insight on what those potential trade-offs might be. You can find the right publisher for your book, but it takes research strategy and the willingness to dig beneath the surface. Don't rush the process. Vet your options. And remember, the right publisher isn't just someone who accepts your manuscript. It's someone who believes in your message, understands your audience, and has the tools to help your book thrive. If you want help figuring out which publishers might be right for you, or what path to pursue next, come join us in the Juxtabook Author Edge community. We're having real conversations like this every week, and I'd love to see you inside. Thanks for listening, and as always, keep writing, keep believing, and keep building the path to publish that's right for you.